The moment Veriana looked up, her world fell apart. Something was happening in front of her that would change everything. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our incredible stories. Let's take a few steps back to understand better. Veriana and Ilian seemed like a perfect match. Their lives had been intertwined since adolescence, united by a family and business bond that seemed indestructible. However, beneath that golden surface lurked a complex reality. After years of trying to have a child, Ilian began to think Veriana was infertile. "It's really frustrating," he said one evening, his eyes filled with disappointed expectations. "It's been 8 months and still nothing. Are you sure your tests are okay?" Veriana felt her heart tighten. She knew how much Ilian wanted a child, but she feared that this desire was more related to the continuity of the business than to a true dream of fatherhood. The pressures on her were immense, and every day it became more difficult to bear. Veriana often found herself gazing at her reflection in the mirror, wondering how she got to this point. Her heart longed for a loving family, while her mind was trapped by the expectations of others. There was a constant tension between who she was and who she was supposed to be. Sleepless nights were filled with thoughts of what she could have done differently. Every morning, she woke up determined to find a way out, to build a future that was truly hers. However, the shadow of Ilian's expectations followed her everywhere. It was Veriana's family that had pushed her toward marriage to Ilian. "He's a great guy," her father told her. "Merging our families will be good for business." Veriana often wondered if this was really the path she wanted for her life. With Ilian, she felt affection, but his jealous and chauvinistic traits were things she had trouble ignoring. Ilian couldn't stop dreaming out loud about a future with a child, preferably a boy. "I can't wait to have a child," he often said, with excitement in his eyes. "Take him to the stadium, teach him to play football. It will be wonderful." Veriana tried to make him think. "A child is a blessing, boy or girl," she repeated, trying to make him understand that love had no gender. But Ilian was firm in his ideas. "If we have a daughter, we will keep trying until we have a boy," she said, laughing, but with a tone that left no room for doubt. Veriana, feeling increasingly trapped in a marriage that did not reflect her values, made a decision. She began taking contraceptives in secret. She could not bear the thought of bringing a daughter into the world who might be despised by her father. When she found out that Ilian had cheated on her, the pain was devastating. He called the betrayal a momentary mistake, but the blow was deep. Family pressure convinced her to give their marriage another chance, but something inside her had broken. As time passed, Ilian became more and more distant. Another negative pregnancy test marked the point of no return. "Our marriage has always been a convenience between families," he stated coldly. "Perhaps you are sterile and have not kept your end of the bargain." Those words were the end for Veriana. She realized that she could no longer ignore the lack of respect and love. She decided that that moment was not the end, but a new beginning. With renewed strength, Veriana took charge of her life. Years later, she found a man who loved her for who she truly was. Together, they built a happy family, welcoming a bright and talented daughter. As she built her new life, Veriana found herself reflecting often on what love and freedom truly meant. Meeting a man who respected her for who she was, rather than what she had to offer, opened her eyes to how much of a prisoner she had been in the past. 15 years passed in the blink of an eye. Ilian, meanwhile, had remarried the woman he had cheated on Veriana with, fulfilling his dream of having a son. He was proud of the boy who had excelled in a national math championship. "He's incredibly smart," he boasted. "I knew that when I had a son, he would be special." To celebrate her son's success, she decided to take the family out to dinner. At that restaurant, fate would have it that she came face to face with Veriana. "Veriana, how long? You're still alone, I guess," she said with a smirk. She pointed to her son with pride. "He came in second in the National Math Championship. So smart, huh?" Veriana answered with an enigmatic smile. "I have a daughter too," she said calmly. "She's sitting there with my husband. Let me introduce you to her." Ilian followed her gaze and was paralyzed with surprise. The girl who had won first place, beating out her son, was Veriana's daughter. If you're enjoying the video, a precious like would be appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Ilian couldn't believe it. The discovery forced him to reflect on his past beliefs and gender biases. "Congratulations on your family, Veriana," he managed to say, while trying to hide his disbelief. Veriana finally felt free. She had found her place in the world, next to a man who respected and loved her. How do you think Ilian handled this discovery? This story teaches us that prejudices can limit our lives, and that the true value of a person lies in their character and abilities, not in their gender. What do you think? Is it better to live up to other people's expectations or follow your heart?